The center of the political universe today is focused on an event that has captured the world's attention. Donald Trump has been re-elected as President of the United States. This marks a critical moment not only within the United States, but also in Europe, particularly in Russia. While debates around the U.S. election continue, with analyses of the Harris campaign's failure, whether due to inflation, lack of distinction from the Biden administration, or a weak candidate, Europe watches with particular interest. The change in power in the U.S. could significantly impact the ongoing war in Ukraine. Trump's victory may start a countdown clock in the Kremlin, urging Russia to accelerate its campaign before any potential peace plan from Trump affects the battlefield. At this point, Russia is already showing signs of escalating its operations in Ukraine, particularly over the past 3 months, which seems far from coincidental. Although Russia had hoped for a Trump victory, Ukraine's harsh winter means Russia faces considerable challenges if it fails to make substantial gains quickly. As the weather grows colder, Moscow could face even greater obstacles. Russian attacks have noticeably intensified, not only in scale, but also in speed. Looking back, starting from November 2023, Russian forces expanded the scale of attacks near Kharkiv, creating a larger front for further campaigns. Although the early phase of the campaign seemed slow and ineffective, the intensity has ramped up each month, with occupied territory increasing by hundreds of square kilometers monthly. By October, Russia had captured an additional 539 square kilometers, causing concern in Ukraine as it faces the loss of strategic areas, while Russia pushes westward to claim land before winter complicates operations for both sides. The reason behind Russia's intensification of operations in recent months is worth considering, as the political future in the U.S. may have accelerated their campaign. If Trump wins, imposing a peace plan could disadvantage Ukraine greatly. Trump has long pledged to end this war, but he has not specified how. A plausible scenario, which American officials have discussed with Trump, is to present a peace agreement. If Ukraine refuses, the U.S. could cut military aid. If Russia refuses, the U.S. would bolster Ukraine with more weapons. This strategy could push both sides toward reaching an agreement, especially for Russia, which could face increased pressure from the U.S. Trump's policy is creating a significant difference in Russia's strategy. With Trump re-elected, Russia understands time is limited to achieve significant goals in Ukraine. Moscow may decide to escalate its military operations, sacrificing more personnel and equipment to gain an advantage on the battlefield. Over the past 3 months, Russia's losses have increased significantly in both personnel and military assets. Reports indicate that losses in armored vehicles from August to October rose by hundreds, and personnel losses also surged. Another crucial factor is Ukraine's harsh winter conditions at this time. Winter has arrived, meaning muddy roads and severe weather will severely impact military movement and logistics. With the combat areas primarily being open land without supporting infrastructure, the situation becomes even more challenging as rain and snow fall heavily. This explains why Russia has accelerated its fall offensives, attempting to secure as much territory as possible before winter makes advancing difficult. Returning to Russia's internal situation, with Trump back in power, Russia cannot delay further. The Kremlin must carefully reconsider its approach, particularly if a clear Trump administration policy on Russia and Ukraine is implemented. In such a case, Moscow may adjust its strategy based on U.S. actions. In this context, Russia's strategic calculations could have changed significantly if Kamala Harris had won instead of Trump. If that had happened, Russia would have faced the prospect of losing this opportunity, possibly choosing to reduce its campaign's intensity to maintain long-term operational capacity, rather than pouring everything into a race for territory. But the result is clear. Trump has won, and Russia knows it must make the most of the remaining time. Meanwhile, winter's rain and frost have already begun to hamper military campaigns. The muddy roads and harsh terrain make it difficult to maintain the current campaign's pace. However, Russia continues to press forward, demonstrating its determination to secure strategic positions, especially in critical areas like Pokrovsk, where a winter siege could offer a significant advantage. As Trump prepares to take office, questions about how he will handle this conflict remain a hot topic. Will Trump stick to his stance of cutting military support to Ukraine if the war doesn't end? Or will he impose a peace plan to force both sides to negotiate? Upcoming developments are bound to be complex, and any changes from the U.S. will undoubtedly have a powerful impact on Russia's strategy. As we wrap up this video, if you found this content helpful and want more updates, please hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel to support us, and stay tuned for upcoming videos.